This is a video about assembling a console and a ticker for the PhilingVo project. So, let's put all devices together, but first of all, we should have a look at an electrical scheme. As you can see in the scheme, all connections are pretty easy. We need is to connect devices in a proper way. There are two hardware constructions, the console and the LED ticker panel. The console contains the Raspberry and two power supplies. As an example, I used a small kitchen basket as a case, and finally, it has a form of old-fashioned console. The front panel has switches for giving power to devices. The red one is a main switcher, the central one the Raspberry power supply, the left one LED power supply. I have a need to often replace microSD card, so I used a special card extender and make the card reader outside a basket. The card reader is located on the front panel. Place the Raspberry the way to have an access to USB and HDMI ports, so the best place in my case is the top left corner. For the LED ticker connection I used Molex connector. Solder a 200 ohms resistor in the data wire between the Raspberry and matrices. In some cases it works well without this resistor. As a tip, try to separate mains power wires and 5 volts wires inside the console. There are 3D printed plastic lattices as a base of the LED ticker. You can find models files in the project's ones. I don't have a 3D printer, so I ordered lattices, and there is a tip I received by a man who printed them. It is better to print smaller lattices, 8:16 or 8:8 than 8:32, because more lattices size we have, more problems we can get during printing. If something goes wrong during printing with a smaller detail, we can understand reasons and correct printing settings or a model to reach the best results for all series. So I printed one 8:32 lattice and 4 8:16 ones, and put them into a long chain using bolts and screw nuts. When the lattice is built, you need to solder LED matrices between each other according to scheme. Output one cable with a standard connector to connect the ticker and the console. Stick matrices to the built lattice with sticky tape. In order to scatter light emitting from LEDs and have bright and big pixels, I used small 3D printed tiles. I stuck these tiles onto lattices cells. So now we have two devices. Connect to the console a mains power cable, connect USB keyboard and mouse, and a monitor with a HDMI cable, connect LED ticker with a 3 wires cable. Attention! Before you give mains power, make sure that you have made all electric connections properly. Also we need a microSD card with installed the Raspbian operating system, so we have to install it in the next video. Thank you for watching this video. Watch other videos about the PhilingVo project.